What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of HHN Twitter Roundup for the month of May. And if you haven't seen this show before, this is where I gather the most important tweets from John Murdy, the creative director of HHN Hollywood. I share my thoughts and then we can have a conversation in the comment section down below. If you're not subscribed and you want weekly HHN updates, then definitely subscribe. There's going to be a ton of construction updates. There already is one. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. And let's just jump right into the tweets. A fan asked Murdy why we're only focusing on season 1 for Stranger Things, and he responded, "It's too good a show to not take the time to focus on all the content from season 1, too many places to go." He also said that the maze outline and drawing package for Stranger Things was completed long ago, so he's really focusing on audio, which is going to take a long time to put together. His audio stem list alone for this maze is 14 pages long. Audio stems are usually divided between music, sound effects, and dialogue. To put this together, I have to go through every episode and pause every single time I hear a sound effect I might want to use and make a note of where it occurs in the episode. A long process. Then all that information has to get incorporated into the treatment so my audio team knows what I want for each scene. This maze is going to be very complex on the audio front, a lot going on. So after John shared that breakdown of how he gets the audio, I completely understand why he's only going to focus on season 1. I think from a creative mind like Murdy's, he already knows how to design a maze. He understands how much there is to work within the confines of one season. While us fans may be like, man, let's see some really awesome scenes from season 2. We already know, or most likely will be getting season 2 as a maze next year. We're just gonna have to be patient, see what they do with the stories from season 1, and then just get excited once again when we get season 2 announced for 2019. Murdy also tweeted, "Just finished writing treatment for maze number 3 while converting the outline into the treatment. Came in at a hearty 95 pages, now on to the next. Gonna be writing treatments for the next 6 weeks or until my fingers fall off." Durka46 asked him, "Are you losing Jurassic Park Q as a location due to the ride update?" And he said, "Yes, but gaining a soundstage." If you haven't seen my update about Jurassic Park the ride closing in September, I'll link that down below as well. But we did get an official announcement, so there's going to be a major refurbishment, which is why the queue is closing down. And it's always sad to see a venue go because there's so many good memories there, especially Jurassic Park queue. Insidious, American Werewolf in London, Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw. There's been a ton of really good mazes there, and I know the general public wouldn't really understand that, but I know us diehard fans do get bummed out to see some really great venues get lost. Like Murdy mentioned, we're getting a soundstage in its place, so it's not a major loss. Disney Monster 94 asked, "Is Soundstage 29 the only new maze location this year?" And Murdy did confirm that it is. Then Murdy gave us a little bit more insight regarding Trick or Treat. Murdy said, 10 years ago I met writer-director Michael Dougherty and we discussed bringing his film Trick or Treat to Halloween Horror Nights. It took a decade and we collaborated on Krampus in between, but we're finally doing it. In the past I always said I was holding out for the sequel, but the fans of HHN never stopped requesting it, so I figured it was time to give the fans of Trick or Treat the maze they've been asking for. I'm a big fan of Michael's films, and if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's a great anthology horror film that very smartly weaves several interconnecting stories together. I'm very excited to finally make it a maze." He confirms it's in the same location as last year's The Shining maze in the Mummy queue. Then he gave a little bit of background information for the clues, Terror in the Aisle, which connected to Trick or Treat. He said, "As for the clues, Terror in the Aisles came out in 1984. I gave a hint that the codename of the maze, Olympics, had to do with something that happened in 1984, the Olympics in LA. Sam the Eagle was the mascot for those Olympics, and Sam, of course, is the main character in Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat, Stranger Things, those are the two officially confirmed as of now. And then, of course, we know the rumored leaked lineup. I actually didn't make a video on it, even though you guys did request it. I decided to hold off, just, you know, for the integrity of the community, and I know if you guys want to find out, you definitely can. It's easy to find it, but I didn't want to really spoil any of that just because, you know, it ruins the fun. So I'd rather do a lot of speculation videos versus doing a leaked lineup video. So there it is. I know a few of you guys have asked me why I haven't posted it yet. I probably won't, so just a heads up. Adhonbrolo77 asked, "Was this decision also based on the overwhelmingly positive reception to the Scare Zone last year in Orlando?" And he said, "Partly. When Mike Aiello told me he wanted to do a maze, I said I'm in." And I'm so glad Orlando did do that Scare Zone last year, because if they didn't, we might not see this maze in 2018. It might have actually been postponed until the sequel came out. So that positive reception, Mike Aiello deciding to do that Scare Zone, it all worked out perfectly. And I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos are from Hollywood and you weren't able to experience Trick or Treat Scare Zone in Orlando last year, but I'm sure you've seen my videos. I'm sure you've seen a ton of other videos. It was beautiful. It was executed very well. And just seeing those characters come to life was amazing. And I can't even imagine putting them in a smaller, tighter space, having really great jump scares, the beautiful atmosphere, the scenery. I just cannot wait for Trick or Treat. And I mentioned in my tweets way back, it's one of my most anticipated mazes of all time, and it's been on my HHN wish list for 11 years now, which is crazy. Murdy also said, while we were waiting for that recent announcement, he's been busy writing the final maze treatments. He finished number 4 last week, which was 95 pages long. He hopes to finish number 5 today, probably end up another 100 or so pages. Number 4 is Metro Sets and number 5 is Waterworld Area. Type. Bouncing between 3 different mazes this week. Writing, hard to keep them all straight. Which one has that scary guy in it again? Warning, not a hint. Seriously, lots of horror movies have scary people in them. Why do I know you won't believe me? Don't Google scary guy. Just finished another treatment. This one came in at a surprisingly slim 61 pages. Now tomorrow I have to turn my attention back to Terror Tram. Gotta revisit that before starting in on the next maze treatment. Been writing pretty much non-stop for 6 months now. And speaking of Terror Tram, Murdy did also respond to @CoasterCruiser saying that all the mazes are based on IP properties and the Terror Tram will be original. And Hot Dog and I already made a speculation video on the Terror Tram. It came out a few days ago, so I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it. But what's really crazy or weird is he started having conversations with himself from his HHN Hollywood Twitter account to his official or his personal John Murdy Twitter account. And I'm not gonna really go through a lot of his personal tweets, but if you guys want to check that out, search up John Murdy on Twitter. I'll link that down below as well. He's going to give a lot of insight as to how he started his career in haunt building, what it takes to become somebody in creative in that department, and it's just basically going to give more behind the scenes information. And I'm assuming the reason he also created that is when he's officially retired from HHN, then he'll have that account to also post more things. It's exciting to hear that the Terror Tram is going to be original. We've only seen it original once before with Hollywood Harry. Murdy also did say there's going to be 2 facades for the Trick or Treat maze, and Trick or Treat is one of those movies with a ton of great environments and characters to work with, so I'm really curious to see which scenes or which moments he's going to decide to do, and that's what I'm even more excited to see is the differences between HHN Orlando and Hollywood. I feel like most properties you're going to always see some differences, but Trick or Treat I think is open for interpretation because of just how much variety there is to work with. So in my future videos, like I mentioned, subscribe to the channel for a ton of updates. When we go to Orlando and we already experienced Hollywood, I'm going to have a comparison video for each maze, breaking it down, talking about what I liked from one coast and what I didn't like from another coast, and just going back and forth. And then we're going to pick an ultimate winner between Hollywood and Orlando for every single maze, every single scare zone that's shared. Stay tuned for a ton of great content. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in just a couple of days with another HHN speculation video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.